Welcome back to Game 2 of the Warrenton City Championship Finals. Last game we saw Mark kind of dominate Arron. He just kept catchering and blue flaring the entire game, while Arron just kind of sat there not having much. So hopefully Arron will be able to turn this game around. He gets to go first, which is a huge advantage in this game with the current rules. And yeah, so Arron's on our left, Mark's on our right, and here we go. Arron is once again using Magnezone Ill Trick, and Mark is using Magnezone Typhlosion. Or no, Typhlosion, Reshiram, and that's it. He does not run any of the Magnezones or Ninetales as you see sometimes. Arron again having a somewhat weak hand, and that basically that means a hand without collector. You really want that collector turn one, but hey, sometimes things just doesn't work out that way. So we have a turn one Eek. Having that energy in the discard is going to end up being nice for Arron later on, but he really wants to get some Magnezones going. The key to this matchup is keeping Typhlosion off Typhlosion. As weird as that sounds, the goal for both decks is to keep them off their energy accelerators. Reshiram, Typhlosion's trying to keep them off Ill Tricks. Magnezone's trying to keep them off Typhlosions, and whoever achieves that first probably wins the game. We have a pretty good turn from Mark. He has 2 Reshirams and 2 Cyndaquils without playing a collector. Just kind of raw dogged into it. With the Cleffa active, he's in good shape. With a Pont, who knows where this could lead. Especially seeing Arron's turn. Hey, good start from Mark. Then again, this is a matchup that can swing either way very quickly. It's pretty volatile in that respect. Magnezones and Ends and Catcher. There's just so many cards that swing the matchup around. And wow. Okay, so this is how you know your hand is always good. Their hand is good. When they have Cleffa active and they don't Eek. It's either 1, their hand is really awesome, or 2, they're completely bluffing. But most times than not, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt of their hand being awesome. So, yeah, we have a standard setup coming out, and yep, N. You can't really take the chance of Mark's hand not being really good. There's just too many red flags coming up for that situation. When you don't use Eek, that's just so dangerous for the opponent. So we have an N, let's see what Arron gets. He could get a couple cards that would help him out. It would be kind of funny if both players just went like pass with Cleffa active. They're like, yeah, my hand is so good, I'm not going to play down anything, ha ha ha. But, we have Zekrom coming down. Kind of hard to not notice Zekrom. It's just a big black blob of a card. Really, you can't really see from a distance. You can't really see anything about that Zekrom other than the card text on it. So a nice little interesting note about that. And yep, we have an Eek. So hand was clearly not as good as what Mark had, but we'll see what happens. All right, so Mark. Just Sages here. I think I saw a Calm, so he's looking for that rare candy. Looking for a Pokemon in general. Hits a big load of not really anything. I mean, hits Typhlosion, which is nice, but it doesn't really solve his problems. He will be able to get a turn 3 Typhlosion, which is still good. Still very good, but, not what Mark wanted. What's going to be nice, though, with the plus power in his hand, he is going to be able to knock out that Cleffa. And with no energy on Arron's board, that's going to be huge. It's going to be able to buy a lot of time, just start getting those early prizes, and it's going to set up for a blue flare the following turn with the catcher that he got off the stage. So he's going to be in pretty good shape. Yep, there it is. Plus power. And Arron cannot be too happy about that. It's kind of hard to play around plus power. Plus, Arron did try to stay asleep. Unfortunately, he woke up. But them's the breaks, I guess. What Arron's trying to do here, honestly, he's trying to go ridiculous here. He's gonna try and go for like an eel trick, double eel trick with like switch or a candy magnezone, catcher for the cool lava, and like lost burn it. That would be like his ideal turn. That or double dynamotor onto Zekrom, switch, catcher. Something along those lines is what Arron wants. Probably more along Magnezone lines, because at least then he still has energy. Rather, he has a energy on the board, and he doesn't lose another prize right away. But we'll see how this works out for Arron. Let's just see how he has a couple cards in his hand. Let's just see how all in Arron goes. Yep, he's just going for it. He's going hard, and would like to see an energy attachment. Well. Can he do it, actually? I think he has it. Wow. This is how crazy this deck is. It just, out of nowhere, pops out double eel trick, Magnezone, switch, and a bunch of crazy stuff. Let's see what Arron decides to do. He decides to go with the Bolt Strike route. So he's just gonna. This is not too bad, but I just blue flare kind of scares me, but it doesn't really matter because you're trading you're just not wasting energy, so you have energy later to lost burn with. Unfortunately, he's not really he's gonna need another switch or. Oh, there's a catcher. Oh, wow, he's not even going for the Zekrom. Zekrom is a huge threat. It has all that energy on the board. The game doesn't... Eel tricks don't matter when there's no energy in the discard. So, yeah. That's another lesson for you guys. When there's no energy in their discard, Eel trick doesn't do anything. So, this is kind of a pointless catcher. Would have liked to see it saved, or maybe hit the Magnemite, because the Zekrom is much more threatening. Like if he had knocked down Zekrom, he would have Mark would have been in really tough shape. It would have been really hard for him. But now it's not so bad. So yep. Blue flare. Arron's okay with this. He runs a 3/3 eel trick line, not a big deal. It's always nice to know when Arron draws a Zekrom, because you just see this big black blob. Drops out another Zekrom. His hand's pretty loaded. He has another Magnezone, so he's just going to be able to mag draw twice. Hopefully get out another Dynamo. Would be nice, just so when that Zekrom gets knocked out eventually, he'll have a response. And this can... Wow, this is going great for Arron. It's hard to imagine a better setup for him. Yep. He's going to get catcher. Just get nab another prize. And just sit there going, yeah, I'm a boss. Look at me go. Zekrom's the boss. Yep, and Mark. This is kind of more standard games on how this matchup usually plays out. Mark really doesn't have much other than that one Typhlosion, and he's just struggling to keep anything going. Whereas Arron is just using Magnezone to plow through his deck, get everything out, and catch your Mark out of the game with Judges and N. Now, I did say Judges, but Arron doesn't play Judge, so that's that. And yep, Blue Flare. Now again, Mark. Hint, hint. It doesn't do anything if all the energy is on the field. But he will need to start getting another Dynamo. And oh wow, this is like the perfect series of events happening for Arron right here. He's gonna at least have two more Dynamos left and he's gonna be set for the rest of the game. Mark's running out of catchers, and he's gonna have to deal with these Zekrums eventually. So we have another Bolt Strike for a prize. Zekrum's really just been plowing through things. And Mark might be just out of options. He doesn't really have much. He might just have to eke this turn. Gets out, probably just gets out a couple of Reshirams and maybe a Cyniquil, but other than that, I would like to see... He does have a Carnivine in his hand. It would be interesting to pull up the Magnezone. Buys yourself a turn. Yeah, I actually would like to see Carnivine go up for Magnezone and then just kind of go, yeah, I'm gonna double plus power or something. But he's just going for more Reshirams. Hopefully just Reshiram out of the game. If he flips heads, game's probably over. If he flips tails, it forces Arron to have another catcher. So, we'll see how this works out. Also, N would be pretty huge for for Arron. And yep, let's see how this works out. And it is a heads. Wow, that's unfortunate for Mark. But Arron is basically on cloud 9. He's going to get so many energy on the board that he probably doesn't even need Eel Strike for the rest of the game. Might as well play that collector. Or I guess he's hoping for N, but off one, probably not likely. I would have just liked to get that collector. Try more fish for catcher rather than fish for N. And here's the second mag draw. Oh, speak of the there's the junk arm. Get rid of more energy. Get that catcher and go after that Quilava. And then just Bolt Strike it to oblivion. Yep. So Mark has no energy on the board. One Typhlosion. Mark actually should have at least one fire somewhere. That was a little bit of a mistake. He kind of got caught too caught up into his moves and just forgot to afterburner to something. Kind of unfortunate, but hey, it's what happens. Super Rod's actually not going to do anything for Mark here. I don't know why he grabbed it. He already has one Quilava or one Cyniquil in the deck, so he knows he has another one. If he loses one more Typhlosion, the game's pretty much over. And this has basically just been a flip-flop of Game 1, where Game 1, Mark had everything, Arron couldn't get anything out, and Game 2, Arron had everything, and Mark couldn't really get going. He's been kind of staying alive, but he just reached a certain point with Typhlosion. When you only have one Typhlosion, is you just run out of energy. You're constantly discarding them. So But yeah, he's going to be able to, if he wants, he can not knock out anything. But he's probably just going to go for Eek. If Arron has another catcher, game's over. But there's so many energy on the board. That's a lot of lost burn damage. Wow, that's a lot of lost burn damage. He has 8. Whew. Probably wants... Yeah, you just want to Eek here. Definitely. You really can't afford... Yeah, this is where Mark's kind of kicking himself. If he had the energy on the board, he would have been able to... What's the worst case scenario? You get your Reshiram gets bolt striked? Well, at least then you have a Typhlosion. You have 2 Typhlosions and you could have blue flared anyways. He could have kept in this game if he had left, if he had afterburnered last turn, but it's unfortunate. What would he have done? He would have, yeah. What? He doesn't even Eek here? Mark, you have to Eek here. You're gonna die. Oh no. Oh no. I don't think he notices that Arron's at 2 prizes now. Oh no. Oh god, and there's even an N. You know, I feel bad for Mark, but yeah, man. When you don't Eek and your opponent's at 2 prizes, I think you have to Eek regardless of what your hand is, unless you're attacking. Oh, that's... Yeah. I wouldn't even attack with Zekrom. I would just be like, hey, you better draw that catcher to get my stuff. Oh wow, we even have a catcher coming down. He's just kind of lost burn that Typhlosion into oblivion. Yeah, Arron has energies he doesn't even know what to do with. Really? He just decides to outrage. That's okay, yeah. That's actually not that bad, because you know that Mark doesn't play any judges or ends. So, you know, Mark's only way of blocking damage was eat Cleffa. Though even that can't go for an infinite amount of time, so it doesn't actually matter. But it just kind of goes, hey, yeah, I won even more. But at least Arron wins next turn. We're just kind of waiting for Mark to either throw in the towel or for it to hit Arron's turn with the catcher. At least Mark gets a moral victory here with a blue flare, and even a catcher to go with it. But it's just, yeah, far too late. Yep. So Arron wins game 2, and we are going on to game 3. You know, this has been a pretty close match in terms of numbers, but you know, it's been really one-sided game 1, really one-sided game 2. The person who's Arron's gone first both times, so we're gonna see what happens when Mark gets to go first for game 3. We'll see how that works out.